We had another major snowfall overnight, and it's still only November. It's like knee deep, you know, or almost. Well, at least they're already plowing. It's 7 in the morning. I use my leaf blower to clean up the Durango, but today I'm going to work in my Jeep Compass because I want to use it after work for Uber, because it has 3/4 of a tank of gas. saw on the news, they were saying that during the last storm, the last snowfall, police received the reports of 360 accidents. 360. And they said 65 of them were hit and runs, where people hit parked cars and just left, you know? Yeah, the drive to work should be interesting. That's why we are filming. So this winter I'm roughing it with all-season tires. So both my Durango and Jeep Compass now have just the regular all-seasons, and yet I'm passing somebody with winter tires. Interesting. Today should be a great day for doing Uber. I have my signs, I have my, in case it snows again, I have the brush, right? And I brought my cleaning spray and a small towel from the Durango. And also I brought my spare charging cable, you know, in case a customer needs a cable. And I brought the other sign that I bought on Amazon, the one that reminds people about tipping. So yeah, I'm gonna keep one in this Compass and the other one in the Durango. So yeah, today is Saturday, so thankfully my shift starts at 7:45 and time now is 7:30, so I'm running a bit late. Normally I try to enter the building at 7:40. So because I have to get to the computer to clock in before 7:45. But I live only about 7 kilometers from work, so this commute takes less than 10 minutes. So if it's 7:31 now, I think I should be there at around 7:40. And they were saying on the news that, yeah, this weekend is going to be cold, so now it's -12. but thankfully again I have nice gloves at work. I have those that are covered with rubber, so they're waterproof, and I added a couple of layers because, you know, I do work outside, right? Hardly any traffic. People are still sleeping and it's Saturday. See, not too bad. The car feels okay. I don't know. It is a four-wheel drive, but I always keep it in auto. I never mess with these buttons here at the down on the bottom where I can choose snow, or what's the other choices there? I think, like, you know, when you're in the dirt. And a friend of mine, that the guy that I've been consulting with about car rentals, I asked him about winter tires. What's his position on winter tires? Because remember, I lost one rental customer, so I only had one rental so far, and then another guy rented me, booked me, but then he asked me a question. He says, does your Durango have winter tires? Because we are going to Panorama. I had no idea what Panorama was. Then I googled, and it's a resort in British Columbia, about 6-7 hours away from Calgary. And the thing is that in British Columbia you must have a snowflake logo on your tires in winter. So you cannot drive with all season or regular tires like you can, which is perfectly legal in Alberta. Look at this guy. Does he have any lights on? Oh, he does, but he did not clean them. Like, I can barely see his rear. No, I think it's just reflecting. And he's driving 25 kilometers an hour. No, 20. He's probably drunk, you know, like a typical drunk trucker. Just decided to go for a beer run early in the morning. No, he have no lights. Look, it's just the rear thing. It just reflects my lights. This guy. Well, once we turn on Country Hills, there's 3 lanes in there. There's only 2 here. I don't want to go into deep snow because it's hard to see the concrete divider. It's all covered in the snow. See? Like when he hits his brakes, it works. Hey moron, turn your lights on! So he just has his daylights. And it's a driving academy instructor. So these people are teaching our kids how to be truckers. almost made it to work. Another 2 minutes. So yeah, I'm gonna be there at 7:40. Perfect. My first trip of the day, Saturday. I'm in a Freightliner. Lots of snow today. The shop manager uses one of our skid steers with a huge bucket, you know, like a extra large bucket, because snow is not that heavy, but it's high, super high volume. And he cleaned up. Yeah, for some reason my GoPro shut down. I thought I forgot to delete previous. Well, today's Monday, November 25th. I guess Thanksgiving is this week in US, but in Canada, I think we already had it before. Yeah, it's different date. So I just did my first delivery, a monstrous load that I partially preloaded on Saturday when I worked. So I preloaded 8 propane tanks. Each weighs about 100 pounds, but I used the dolly. And then of course the electric tailgate, which makes things easier, but still 8 propane tanks. And then the rest of the order was 4 electric heaters. I mean propane heaters, they're also pretty heavy, and 4 regulators, like they're, you know, just 4 things that you have to hook up between the tank and the heater, and 4 extension cords, 50-foot electric extension cords. And the kicker was the order also required me to load 20 tarps, 12 by 20 feet by 12 feet. They're light, but they're bulky, you know. And so I had 1 in here, 3 in the back there behind the seats, and the rest put on top of the like the tanks were in the front. And then I put the 4 heaters, and then there was a bit of space left on the floor, so I put the tarps in there, and then on top of the heaters, and used a couple of straps to tie them down. Everything was good, did not lose anything. And I arrived there, there's nobody there. It's a brand new house, but for now it just has a foundation and a fence. So I opened the fence and was trying to think how to position my truck so that I don't have to, you know, work too hard. And I noticed there's a guy, there was a pickup truck parked right at the entrance in the fence, and this guy opens the window. He says, if I move my truck, would it help you? I said, yes sir, thank you very much. And he moved his truck. I backed into his space, unloaded, and then I was sitting putting my route in. He backed towards me and he shows basically get out get out of his space. And I said, okay, no problem. But that allowed me, you know, I only had to drag those propane tanks maybe, I don't know, 4 meters, 5 meters, you know, like 15 feet. But I used the dolly, but there's deep snow in there, and you cannot see, there's a hole in the ground, so I was afraid I would fall down there in that foundation. So I cleaned the snow with my boot, just to make sure there's no holes in there, you know, because it can be dangerous. And again, there's nobody there. And I called the guy who ordered this. I said, I'm coming in half an hour. And he says, yeah, just put it in the front, I guess. And I said, yeah, these are like super heavy, you know, things, so I'm not gonna drag them around the site. Because what they're gonna do is I saw it before, they're gonna position those tanks throughout the site, and they're gonna position those heaters wherever they want them. But these are like, they're kind of like a box. They're not those heaters that where you connect you know, big hoses, like those big, what is it, probably a foot wide or foot and a half wide, like what I used to work with at the construction site in Drumheller when I was you know, fueling them up. Those were diesel. These are propane, but they also I think they also require electric power, because they got extension cords, you know, like electric extension cords. So I'm not sure how they work, but I know they use propane for the heat. Yeah, today is the first really cold day, and it's still, technically it's not even winter yet, right? It's November. It's kind of like late fall in my opinion. But that's the first thing I do when I wake up. I unlock my phone, turn off the airplane mode, because I always turn it on, otherwise some idiot texts me at 3 a.m. and the phone beeps and I wake up, then I cannot fall asleep. So airplane mode at night, that's my rule. So I unlock the airplane mode to see the weather, and the weather app says minus 20 degrees. Holy moly. So I put in a bunch of, you know, layers, even put some warm shorts over the underwear, and then I have track pants, and I have these pants. I don't know why Google Maps never sends you this way. It's way shorter, I mean faster, because this one curves, yeah, it curves like this and it turns into McKnight Boulevard, and then McKnight connects you with Highway 2, and there's no lights here for about a couple of kilometers. And so yeah, I did Uber Saturday and Sunday. This was probably the best 2 days I had since I started doing this taxi work. So Saturday I worked until 4, right? So I went home, and then yeah, 5 to 9:30. I made about 170 bucks, and then the roads were pretty bad, but I used my Jeep Compass. It was pulling like a tank, no issues even with all-season tires, but they have open shoulder, so they're excellent. The Jeep was excellent in the snow, deep snow. And then Sunday I went did some shopping, did my stuff, and then I remember that Sunday some churches have a service at 11 o'clock, because I gave a couple of times I gave a ride from my area, like it was a nice long drive to downtown. People were going to church, and so if the service starts at 11, I thought, okay, probably I should start at 10:30. But I didn't get out of the apartment until 10:45. And then it just started non-stop, you know. At first it was slow to get out of my area, northeast, but once I got to closer to 16 Ave there, you know, busy area, it was non-stop. And by then I finished around 5. I made almost 200 bucks, and one drunk guy gave me $20 tip, because I put, yeah, oh, and today I used Durango just to see how it's in the snow. Also, it was excellent. The tires, like my manager said, he had the same tires, they were bad. I don't know, he has a pickup truck, right? So my SUV, the weight distribution is 50-50. It's perfect, like not like in a pickup truck where the rear is light, right? And so this guy, he had trouble with these tires. I was driving in the snow, not an issue. Same as a Jeep, except Durango, of course, burns more gas. And had a girl in a mini skirt. It was like -16, and I pick up one ride was a girl comes out of the house, and I look at her like I cannot believe it. She's like half naked, and she says we were going to a restaurant on 17F, so I guess she's either a hostess there or like a server or something. But I said, I feel cold just looking at you. She says, oh, I'm not gonna be outside for that long. And yeah, she jumps in, and then we drive, and it was very distracting, you know, to have a semi-naked girl in the back there. Each time I turn my head like this, you know, and she's there. Like, I mean, you know, I have to check mirrors, right? I have to go when I go around corners. So it was hard to focus on the road, what I'm trying to say. No tip, of course. So yeah, that drunk guy gave me a tip, and somebody else gave me a $5 tip, I think, on Saturday. Because I took a guy very far, like 30 kilometers, you know, to a farm on the other side of 201, northwest Calgary. A rich guy. He was coming out of a restaurant, took Uber to back to his home. And then the funniest,
left onto 4th Street Northwest.
And the funniest ride was a guy named Harry. Okay, I'm thinking probably some old dude, you know. Oh, that's why he wants me to turn. There's something going on here.
Continue on 4th Street Northwest for 1.5 kilometers.
Son of a gun, but I'm in the wrong lane. Yeah, there's a lot of traffic over there. That McKnight. And so yeah, this Harry, 3 Filipino dudes come out, and I can see they're already slightly tipsy. And I said, Harry? He doesn't look like Harry, you know, because I'm guessing that's his nickname. And of course Uber does not tell us where they're going. I can only see the name and how far he is, right? Like Harry, 1 kilometer, 5 minutes. Okay, so 3 dudes get in, maybe, I don't know, 30 years old, 25, 30, short. And I slide picked up, and then Uber shows me the destination, and I look at it and I cannot believe it. The distance is 350 meters, 350 meters, which is roughly 1,000 feet.
Continue on McKnight Boulevard Northwest East
So
for 2 kilometers.
I turn to them, I say, guys, did you make a mistake, or are we going 350 meters? The guy says, no, that's correct, we're going to a liquor store. True story. So I just drove him 350 meters, you know, like, I don't know, across the set of lights. Took 3 minutes. And I stop. This is like a retail plaza. I stop, I don't see any liquor store. It's some kind of a furniture store, because that's what app tells me where to drop him off. And this guy says, no. I probably put on the wrong, this is the wrong spot. I said, where's the liquor store? He says, oh, it's maybe 100 meters further down. So it was not 350, it was probably 450 meters. But, you know, funny. Oh yeah, and another funny thing is, 2 of them get out. The 3rd guy still sits there in the back and looks at me. And he says, we're going back now? I said, no, we're not going back. I already have another ride, you know, because like roughly 2 minutes before I dropped them off, Uber already gave me another offer, and I said accept. And so this guy, the 3rd guy, expected me to take him back home. I don't know why. He just went for a ride in a nice Dodge Durango. So that was the funny ride. Oh, and then I had a girl you know, I see it says Uber Pet. Okay, so I'm thinking, man, what if there's like a huge dog and I have brand, you know, new car, Durango, but I have a blanket in the trunk. I thought before they get in, if it's a big dog, I'll tell them, let me just grab the blanket. But most of the time, in my experience, I carried a few dogs. They just sit on the floor. They sit either on the floor if it's a big dog. If it's a small dog, the owner takes it on, you know, on her lap. So that they don't mess up the seats. But I see there's a girl comes out and she has like some kind of a bag, and it's square, so like a, you know, like a carrier, a cat carrier, and so it's a cat, because she puts it on the seat and the thing meows, you know, makes some sounds like it's not too happy. But I said, everything is closed, the sides are closed. I said, can the cat see outside? She says, yeah, there's a mesh in there, he can see a little bit. And I said, why is it closed like that? She says, well, this makes it less stressful for the cat inside the car. And so it only meowed once, and that's it. So the cat was happy. And we went to another, from this was like a pet hospital, and we went to another hospital, maybe 4 kilometers away. I don't know, maybe this one could not help them or was too expensive or something, I don't know. So that was my Sunday, you know, like very interesting. Met a bunch of different people, different situations, and also took a lady, picked up a lady at the airport, took her downtown, you know, like it was a nice long trip. But yeah, so the money was good, it was very busy. So now I know that bad weather is great time for Uber. And actually I think Lyft, maybe I did one, because you know, I'm sitting at home, I start both Lyft and Uber, and Lyft is too slow. Actually, yeah, they offered me something when Lyft was on. They offered me a ride, but I look at it, it was cheap. It was like 5 kilometers away, you know, too far to drive. So I said, forget it. But Saturday, it was so busy, I couldn't stop. You know, each time I drop somebody off, 2 minutes before they give me something else, and it was all over the place. So I finally see it's already 9:30. I want to get home, so I just stopped the app and I drove 30 kilometers back home, because the last ride was a frozen Ukrainian girl that I picked up at a bus stop, true story. And she gets in, I see the name is Ukrainian. She gets in and she says, I wait 1 hour at the bus not come. I said, you speak Russian? And we start talking. I speak Russian, she speaks Ukrainian, we understand each other. So she works at a Walmart in northern part of Calgary, but she lives like 30 kilometers west on 201. And I'm like, holy moly. I was hoping to get somebody going northeast from that area, but she was going southwest, and I said, that's it, that's gonna be my last ride, because you know, Uber is not telling us where the rides go. I'm just tired, you know. And so 170 bucks, I said, that's it. So 170 to 200, 370, and I spent Sunday, I filled up, I spent 60 bucks on gas on Durango, and it was pretty much gone by the time I finished. So yeah, not Durango makes sense when it's XL, you know, something expensive. Oh, I had one comfort ride, so which paid better, maybe like $5 more than Uber X. So anyway, today I'm taking day off from Ubering, because Mondays are bad usually, but I don't know, maybe today would be nice. But I worked through the weekend, too many hours. Oh, Durango. And I also at work, I think, because I worked Saturday, I look at my hours for the week, it's like almost 60 hours, Monday till Saturday. But minus, they don't pay us for 30 minutes lunch. So if it's what, 6 days times half an hour, so 3 hours, so 60 minus 3, so probably I did like 57 hours. Like, I work long hours, it's not 40, you know, so that's why money is good, both on the main job and Uber. And I have that second rental, right? The guy rented my Durango from December 27th until January 5th or 6th, like a week. So I'm gonna make some money there because I increased the price. So yeah, that's my first ride. So a pickup truck, and yesterday when I was doing shopping, or Friday actually, I felt like having some soup because it's so cold, you know. And so I went to Sobeys grocery store, supermarket, and I found some nice, you know, soup. Like, it's organic. It's like $5 for a can, but it's ready to eat, you know. You just need to heat it up. And so I had one Friday at home, and I left one in the truck. Oh, I think it's chili with vegetables, you know. And I didn't have like a small plate for a soup that you can put in the microwave, and so that's gonna be my lunch today. Is I'm gonna open that can, put it in that little bowl I bought, and we have 2 microwaves in the lunchroom, so I don't have to spend money today on lunch. Doing my second delivery. I have a carpet cleaner, like a very light machine with a wand, just delivering it to a company not too far from here. So they said drop it at the reception. And the vehicle in the front is interesting. Like, how do you tell if it's a police vehicle or not? Well, that's a tricky question, because this one is not unmarked, it's marked. It says police on the back. And they love their Ford Explorers. You know, most, I would say all vehicles the police uses here are by Ford. They have pickup trucks, Ford F-150, and they have these Ford Explorers, and then they have Ford Transit, those small mini buses that they use. And I'm staying away from this guy because I know they don't like it when you drive too close behind them. They can get you a ticket, you know. And there's some kind of an accident I saw from far away. I see the flashing lights. Oh shoot, I thought the right.
There's a 6-minute slowdown caused by crashes on Alberta 2 South in 50 meters. You are still on the fastest route.
Yeah, I thought it was on the right side, but now I can see the arrow on the left. Like there's a, you know, lightning arrow that shows move, and it's on the left and it points this way. Yeah, left lane closed ahead. Oh, actually no, that's just this. This lane ends. So now we have 4 lanes, and here in the construction zone, for some reason, this is a new lane. They close it over there. So yeah, not sure. But yeah, so it's a crash. I'll be stuck here for 6 minutes. But I'm not going far. I'm just taking McKnight Boulevard exit and then going east. And that's where my customer is. I sent him a message coming. Look at this guy. And then after that, I'm picking up. So I have 1 delivery and 2 pickups. The pickups are 2 ladders, 2 of those monstrous extension ladders, and then the second pickup is just 3 10-footer decks for scaffolding. One of our customers, we often go there, they make popcorn. I see trucks there all the time from US, you know, like very busy operation. So it looks like they ship this, some kind of special popcorn. They ship it all over the place. Now this truck, surprisingly, is not very good on snow. It has these monstrous off-road tires that it has them on year-round, but because it's a two-wheel drive, like you have to use this knob over there.
Right onto 12th Street Northeast.
You can switch from two-wheel drive to 4 high or 4 low, like 4x4 high, 4x4 low, and it's sliding all over the place.
Turn right onto 32nd Avenue Northeast West.
And yeah, just regular two-wheel drive is no good. Like, I'm so used to, like, my Compass is so much better than this, even though it has all-season tires, you know, same as Durango. So yeah, I just dropped off that carpet cleaner. It has a funny name, Ninja. Commercial Ninja carpet cleaner. And now I'm on my way to my first pickup, which is 2 extension ladders.
Turn right onto 32nd Avenue Northeast West.
I called the guy, I said, are they good to go? Are they on the in the driveway? Because I believe I delivered them. He says, yeah, they're in the driveway.
100 meters. Turn left onto the Alberta 2 South Deerfoot Trail Ramp.
Good to go. I said, okay, I'll be there in 15-20 minutes to pick him up. And the guy says, awesome, thank you. And so now I'm jumping on Deerfoot Highway 2 south for a couple of exits. And this truck slides on snow, so I gotta be careful. Yeah, it's only 6 kilometers, and then after that I'm heading over to Airdrie. Yeah, you know, road trip. It's probably 30 kilometers from the first pickup to the second pickup, and then I'm going to that popcorn factory and pick up those 3 scaffolding decks. So it's going to be 2 ladders on one side on top of the frame in the back, and somehow I have to fit in these 3 huge decks. And now it's minus 14 Celsius. So it's got a bit warmer, but not by much. But yeah, it scared me, you know, like in the morning when I saw minus 20, holy moly. Oh, and the shop manager gave us this hand warmer. Like each worker received these hot hands. So it's up to 10 hours. I have no idea how they work. So I asked one guy and he says, oh, I said, do I have to open them? He says, no, don't open them, because there's some, he says, it's like crystals inside. He says, all you do is just shake them.
In 400 meters, merge onto Alberta 2 South.
But I guess I have to, if I were to use them, I have to cut them, because there's 2 of them. There's, here you can cut them and then shake them and put them in your gloves, and they create warmth. But I don't see the point is that. I would rather put them in my boots, you know, because that's what getting cold is, feet, not hands, not so much.
In 3 kilometers, take exit 256 for Memorial Drive.
Memorial Drive. Okay. Yeah, I see the major highway is already clean. They did a good job, but secondary roads, you know, those housing area in residential areas, like if I were to go there with this truck and only 2-wheel drive works, I would get stuck because the snow is too deep. Yeah, see that? What Amazon uses? Actually, wait a second. That's a Ram. Huh. I thought they were using Ford Transit. So that's a Ram, what is it called? Wagon? It looks pretty good. That would be good to buy for a rental. Because then if there's a group of people, you know, need a large capacity vehicle, you can make some good money. Well, that's the beauty of my job. 4 o'clock and I'm already free. Today was not too crazy busy, but it was a lot of physical work. I had after lunch, it was, yeah, lots of scaffolding. It was minus 16 in the morning. Now it's minus 13, but feels very, you don't want to be outside, you know, this kind of weather. And I brought this, my new bowl for the soup, thinking that the chili, a can of chili I left in the Freightliner. You know, when I worked Saturday, I bought some soup, right? And so I thought, okay, I'm gonna take 2 of them with me, but this one I'm gonna eat it at home, but this one I wanna have Monday for lunch. And so I didn't expect that it'll be so cold. And I know it's inside the truck and inside the drawer, so I thought it would be okay, but I pick it up. I took my break, pick it up, and I shake it. It's not, nothing is moving in there. So I try to open the top. There's a flap. The flap breaks off. So I use like we have some kitchen utensils in the lunchroom. I use that thing, the can opener, and try to scrape it out from with a spoon. It's ice. It's ice. It's not moving, you know. So I had to put it in we have a toaster oven. I put it in a toaster oven for like maybe 3-4 minutes, and finally it started melting a little bit, and then I was able to shake it out, and it's like a column, you know, like a cylinder of frozen chili. That was funny. And I put it in the microwave and was doing like 1 minute, and then checking, 1 minute, checking, and you know, mixing it with a spoon, and still there was like a chunk slightly cold after like 5 minutes. But anyway, so there was a good chili. And of course, right after, whenever I have good lunch, and and I had 2 pieces of cheese which also froze, so I had to put it in hot water. It melted pretty fast. And right after lunch usually is when we get scaffolding, you know, deliveries and pickups. So I got a trip with 6 stops, so 5 deliveries and 1 pickup, all scaffolding. So I left the shop with 10 blue frames, 5x5, 10 10-footer decks, and 5 full-size yellow braces. And each delivery was actually pretty simple. Each of these 5 stops, and they were all over the place, all over Calgary, northwest. Each of these was like 2 frames, 2 decks, 1 brace, because it was the same company, for the same drywall company. 2 frames, 2 decks, 1 brace, boom, boom, boom. So I did all 5 in probably 2 hours, and then went for the pickup. And I look at the paperwork, it's 6 frames, 6 decks, 3 braces, 8 casters, you know, those wheels. It was a lot of work. Met some Ukrainians there. It was the scaffolding, it's a brand new house. It was in the garage. I go in the house and I see this European looking woman is painting the wall, and she has a radio and it plays Ukrainian music. And I ask her, hey, do you know where the garage is? And she says, I don't know. And the accent, you know, like much worse than mine, so I can hear that she's either from Russia or Ukraine. And I say, "Ты говоришь по-русски? Do you speak Russian?" She says, "Да, Ukrainsky, Ukrainian." Like they don't like, even though they all speak Russian, but they don't want to speak Russian because of the war. And so, yeah, so I picked up all that scaffolding, came back, and preloaded some stuff for tomorrow, and they let me go. So 4 p.m. So it was 9 from 6:45 until 4. And basically what I'm doing here is I came to Sobeys. I'm just craving some fish, you know. So today I wanna bake some fish in the oven and maybe bake some. I like baking because you don't have to stand there and you know worry about it. You just set the timer. So I wanna bake peppers, artichoke, and eggplant in the oven, and of course they take like 20 minutes, and then 10 minutes in I'm gonna put some salmon or some fish in there. So it's gonna be lovely. So that's my lunch today, some salmon with baked veggies. All right, and tomorrow is another day, so I'm not doing any Uber today. Mondays are never good, and I'm tired, so I worked all weekend, right? So taking a break. So now, yeah, after this I'm going home, cooking my dinner, playing my accordion, and then I bought the book on Amazon about this diet I'm looking in. I never really tried it before. It's, you know, that used to be popular in Italy, Mediterranean diet. It has 5 P's, basically 5 things you should avoid: pizza, pasta, potatoes, protein, but by that they mean red meat. Don't eat too much red meat. And 5 is bread. And why it's called 5 P's? Because bread in Italian was also, the first letter was P. And so if you avoid these 5 foods, they're saying you're gonna live longer, and then that's part of this Mediterranean diet. So anyway, I see some guys already falling asleep, so I'm gonna go shopping now.